I never thought my wedding day would be remembered for screams instead of vows. But it was. Because the moment I looked into my groom's eyes, ready to promise forever, my sister stood up in front of everyone and burned my life to the ground. My name is Grace, and I used to believe that family and love were unbreakable things, that no matter what happened, blood and loyalty meant something. But that was before my sister Amber reminded me that sometimes betrayal wears your own face. Amber and I were total opposites. She was the wild one, the one everyone adored no matter how many mistakes she made. I was the careful one, the listener, the helper, the girl who stayed out of trouble and picked up everyone else's mess. Still, I loved her. Always did. When I met Ethan, I thought I'd finally won something she couldn't take from me. Someone who looked at me like I was the only person in the room. He was calm, kind, stable, everything Amber wasn't. When he proposed, I called her first. She squealed, cried, said, "Finally, you're the lucky one this time." I laughed. I should have known better. Amber threw herself into the wedding planning like it was her own event. She picked flowers, handled decorations, even came dress shopping. At first, I thought she was being sweet, making up for her past mistakes. But every time she looked at Ethan, something in me twitched. The way she laughed too long, touched his arm too easily, called him brother-in-law in this flirty, teasing tone. I remember once walking in on them in the kitchen, her sitting on the counter, him standing too close. She laughed, said something about practice for the wedding dance. Ethan looked guilty. She looked amused. And I pretended not to notice. Because that's what I always did. Pretend things were fine. A week before the wedding, something strange happened. Amber's daughter Lily, my 10-year-old niece, came to me while I was checking my veil. She was clutching her stuffed bunny, her voice shaky. She said, "Aunt Grace, Mommy told me not to tell you something." I smiled and said softly, "That's okay, sweetie. Adults have secrets sometimes." But her little eyes were serious. "It's about Ethan." My heart stopped. Before I could ask anything, Amber walked in. Her face froze when she saw us. Then she said quickly, "Lily, go help Grandma in the kitchen." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that one sentence. It's about Ethan. I brushed it off, told myself I was just being paranoid, told myself Amber wouldn't dare. God, how wrong I was. The morning of the wedding felt like a dream. The soft music, the smell of roses, the way the sunlight hit the stained glass windows of the church. Everyone was there. My parents, friends, coworkers, even neighbors. I remember standing at the altar, heart racing, veil trembling in my hands, as I waited for Ethan. Then the music shifted. He walked in, looking handsome and nervous. For a second, everything felt perfect. Until Amber stood up. At first, I thought maybe she was giving a surprise toast or speech. But the moment she grabbed the microphone from the officiant, my stomach dropped. Her eyes, they weren't warm. They were sharp, cold. She said, "I can't let this happen." The room froze. Then she looked straight at me and said, "Grace, I'm pregnant with Ethan's baby." It was like the air disappeared. Every sound died. Every heartbeat echoed in my ears. People gasped. My father shouted her name. My mother started crying. I turned to Ethan, desperate, terrified, but he just stood there, frozen. He stammered, "Amber, please don't do this." That single sentence destroyed me because he didn't deny it. Amber started crying, those fake, perfect tears. She said, "I didn't mean for it to happen, but Grace deserves to know." My knees gave out. Someone, I don't even remember who, caught me before I hit the floor. The church turned into chaos. People whispering, phones out, guests leaving, and me, the bride, standing there with my heart bleeding out in front of everyone I loved. Then suddenly, a small voice broke the noise. "That's not true." Everyone turned. It was Lily. She stood near the front pew, clutching her bunny, trembling, but her voice was steady. "Mommy, you said if people found out, you would say it was Ethan's baby." Amber's face went white. "Lily, stop! Go sit down!" But Lily shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. "You said it was your boss's baby. You said Daddy can't know." The entire room gasped. Amber lunged toward her, but my father stopped her. The truth poured out of her shaking voice. "You told me not to tell anyone, but Aunt Grace didn't do anything wrong." The silence that followed was unbearable. Ethan spoke finally, voice cracked. I slept with her once, months ago. I swear I didn't know about this." It didn't matter, because the damage had already been done. I took off my veil, dropped it on the floor, and walked out. No yelling, no crying, just silence. People moved out of my way like I was a ghost. Cameras flashed, the whispers followed me out of the church, out of the life I thought I had. For weeks, I didn't leave my apartment. My mother begged me to talk. My father wanted to fix it, but some things can't be fixed. Amber tried calling. I blocked her. Ethan came by once, uninvited. He stood in the rain, saying, "It was a mistake. I love you." I looked at him through the window and said, "If you loved me, you wouldn't have given her the chance to destroy me." Then I closed the door. The only person I didn't shut out was Lily. She sent me little letters through my mom, childish drawings of me smiling, standing in a wedding dress. One of them said, "I'm sorry Mommy lied. I just wanted you to be happy." That broke me, because she was just a child, and yet she was the only one who told the truth. Months passed. The scandal spread everywhere. The videos, the posts, the gossip, everyone knew my story. But eventually the noise faded, and I rebuilt myself. Quietly. Therapy, new job, new apartment. No love. Not yet. Just peace. One afternoon, about a year later, I saw Amber at a cafe. She looked nothing like before. Tired, hollow, ashamed. She walked up slowly and said, "Grace, I lost everything. My job, my house. Lily doesn't even speak to me. I'm sorry." I stared at her for a long time. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to scream. But all I felt was empty. I said softly, "You didn't just lose me, Amber. You lost the only person who ever forgave you." Then I walked away. That night, I opened a letter from Lily. It was a drawing, me in a wedding dress, but this time the sun was shining. Underneath, she'd written, "Someday you'll wear this again, with someone who deserves you." And for the first time in months, I cried, not from pain, but from something else. Hope. Because sometimes healing doesn't come from revenge or apologies. It comes from silence, from peace, from knowing that even when your world collapses, truth finds a way to stand. Amber lost her pride. Ethan lost me. But I found something better. Myself. So when people ask why I never remarried, I just smile and say, because peace feels better than promises.